Well, hi there. This is Carl Bailey at the K-Big Studios high atop Catalina Island, and we have a very special guest with us we'd like to introduce at this time. First of all, I think we'll just lean over here and ask her name. What is your full name?
Lula, and it's Macomber.
Well, it's a real pleasure to have you here with us at our K-Big microphone. Now let's surprise the folks and tell them how old you are.
I'll be 97 the 9th of December. I'm not quite 97, but I'm so near it that I call myself 97.
Well,
I was born in 1860.
Well, you're pretty spry for 97. Well, now, you know, I want to let the folks in on another secret that we kind of found out about you, that one of your ambitions has always been to go for an airplane flight.
Yes.
And you also wanted to visit Catalina Island. And so here, all rolled into one day, we have two ambitions being taken care of, huh?
That's right. And I never thought I was going to make this flight. I was a little bit discouraged because time's getting a little short, you see. And it came as a very pleasant surprise when I found out I was going to make this flight. And I am enjoying. I want to go again.
You do? Well, good. Well, we started this morning from the international airport there on Catalina Airlines de Havilland Dove. How'd you enjoy that airplane flight?
Oh, I enjoyed it. I didn't realize that I was in a plane.
Oh, just as smooth and nice?
I almost pinched myself.
Well, you know what that lady said that was there with you? She said when she saw you get aboard, she said that
she said if she can make it, I think I can. She said she was scared.
Oh, you weren't scared of it?
No, I wasn't scared. And see, a friend of mine, when I told him, he's my transportation indoor source, and I told him I was going to have this flight. And he says, aren't you scared? I says, no. And he says, well, it's just like sitting in a rocking chair. And I says, well, I'll tell you about it. See, we only meet the second Sunday in the month. That's once a month. So I won't see him till the second Sunday in November.
Boy, will you have a lot to tell him then.
Oh, I'll have a lot to tell everybody.
But say, what's this other club you belong to? You were mentioning
the degree of the Pocahontas. And that's the auxiliary to the Red Men, the Ancient Order of Red Men of America.
And when do they meet next?
Well, they meet the second Tuesday and the fourth Tuesday of the month. And that'll be a week from next Tuesday, I think. That'll be the second Tuesday.
Well, you really have a lot to talk about that.
Oh, yes. And you see, my grandson only lives 2 blocks from me, and he takes me. And then somebody else brings me home.
Well, didn't you have a picture here showing the 5 generations of your family?
Oh, sure.
There was Great-Great-Grandmother, that's you.
That's me.
And then who is the great-grandmother?
Well, that's my daughter.
And her name?
And her name is Clarabelle Bentley.
And then there was
her
Grandma.
daughter, and her daughter is Doris Webster.
And then her daughter is?
And then her daughter is Donna Prentice.
And the baby?
And the baby is Robin Prentice.
How about that? 5 generations of you. Isn't that wonderful?
And the baby will be 3 years old the first day of December.
How about that? Well, you know, you stick around a while, another 10, 15 years here, and we might really make a great-great-great-great-grandmother out of it.
Well, I am great-great-grandmother.
Well,
Robin.
I just threw in an extra one, though. You weren't counting.
Oh, great-great-great. Oh, well, I tell you, there's one, well, I call her a young lady. I think she's in the 30s, and she goes in a wheelchair. And her birthday is the same day as mine. And I said, well, we're twins then.
Oh, not a girl. Well, now...
And she said, I said, well, people are so good to me. And, oh, everybody is so nice to me. I said, I won't want to leave this world.
Oh.
I want to stay on. Oh, she says, you're going to live to be 108 anyway.
Well, sure, at least. Well, the rate you've been going here this morning, I thought for a while there you were going to take Bud Baker and go square dancing or something, the way you kids were hopping around up there at the airport.
Oh, say, I used to dance. Oh, how I did love to dance. But you see, when I was in this Saskatchewan, that spoiled all that.
That kind of crossed you up on that.
And I ice skated. Oh, I loved to ice skate. And my daughter, her grandfather was my husband. He was a lovely waltzer.
Oh, sure.
And then we skated together. We skated 16 miles down the Erie Canal one time.
How about that?
And
is that where you're from originally, back in the East?
Near Rochester, New York, western New York.
And how long have you been out here in California?
Over 40 years.
Oh, you're as good as a native then.
Well, of course, they call me a native.
Why? Yes, so.
And I've invested in a little plot in Rose Hill Cemetery. I'm going to stay here.
Well,
but I have a grave all paid for next to my husband in Muncie, Indiana. But you see, I'm way out here, and I don't think he'll make it makes any difference.
Oh, no.
No.
Well, it's going to be a long time, so we won't even worry about that. I want to ask you, what did you think of Catalina Island when you finally got here?
Oh, I haven't made up my mind yet. I have to think that over.
All right. We're going to take you down and show you the bird park and Avalon.
Oh, that'll just be wonderful. I just love all sorts of birds and animals. Now, my daughter, we came to St. Mary's, Ohio from Bradford, Pennsylvania. And she wanted everything she saw except an alligator. There was a baby well, they had a variety store, and they'd been to Florida, and they brought some baby alligators back with them. And that's the only thing that she saw that she didn't want.
No, I was going to say, they have a habit of growing up into rather ugly-looking monsters.
Yeah, to say so. But anyway, she got 2 kittens instead of 1. But I told you, I'm really a dog lover. And when I was 12 years old, my mother bought me a little King Charles Spaniel. And he was about that long, and his fur was brown tipped with black, and he had little black curls all down on each side and all around his ears. Oh, he was darling.
That made a dog lover out of you for life.
Oh, no, I was already. I had a little black and tan terrier before that.
Oh, about that.
But, you see, then I had a Scotty. You see, Janet's brother, Bob. Janet was a reporter for a paper there in Bell. And so
we ought to tell the folks listening in that Janet's sitting right alongside of us here, so they'll know.
Sure. So they'll know who we're talking about.
Sure.
Well, what I was going to say was that she got Bob to put his select a name for a dog in a hat, and with other boys. How old was boy? Was he Bob? Was he 12? Something like that.
About that.
And so he drew the first name. McDougal.
Oh, McDougal, what a name.
And they tried to buy the puppy. He was the sweetest thing, little Scotch Terrier. He was pedigreed, if you please. His pedigree came with him. And they tried to buy a dog. Oh, phooey, he says, phooey.
Wouldn't sell him, huh? Well, Lula, I'll tell you what, I'd like to lean over here and talk with, now let's see, this is your granddaughter over here.
This is my oldest granddaughter.
Your oldest granddaughter? Well, how do you do? And your full name is?
How do you do? My name is Janet Marshall.
I hate to leave Lula over here, but if we don't kind of wind this thing up, we're not going to get downtown and see that bird farm.
That's right, and we've got to see the bird farm.
Oh, sure.
I think it's been wonderful of you and the station, Carl, to make this trip possible for her. This has been two of her lifetime ambitions, as you said, has been fulfilled. Almost.
Since I've been out.
Since she's been in California, and she's a staunch Southern Californian.
Good.
I guess a little before that, because I had a friend living in El Dorado, Kansas, and her mother-in-law was 99 years old, and she fell and broke her hip. And she was in Florida recuperating, and she went up in an airplane at 99 years. Oh, I thought, I was, of course, not anywhere near that then. I thought, I'll just never get up in an airplane, I don't believe.
So here you made it before you were 97.
Yes.
Oh, that's good.
Well, I call, you see, it isn't very long before I'm 97. It's only a little over a month.
Yeah. Well, I hope I'll be around to have a slice of your birthday cake.
Oh, let's see, will it be, maybe it'd be pumpkin pie.
Oh, well, that's all right. I'm a pie eater from my way back. Well, look.
So am I. Angel food cake.
Angel food cake.
Is the only cake that I care for anymore. See, I've lost my sweet tooth.
Uh-oh.
And I don't care for cake. The icing is too sweet. Mm-hmm. But angel food is. Now, my father was born in Vermont. He's a Green Mountain boy. And he was brought up on maple sugar. They had a great big maple sugar grove on his farm.
How about that?
And he never lost his sweet tooth. And that's the kind of candy I like, maple sugar.
Well,
and I tell you a funny thing, Carl, happened. You see, I'm kind of a friendly. I guess you found that out already.
Oh, you're a sweetheart.
Thank you. Well, anyway, there were two ladies indoor sports. There was a mock wedding that time, and they sat behind me, and of course I immediately turned around and started to talk. And this one lady, she says, well, I'm Irish. She says, my name is a good old Irish name, Behan. And her daughter was Margot Behan. And Margot was in a wheelchair. She had been educated for a pianist, concert pianist, but she had arthritis in her arms. So she had, and she wanted. She says, "Oh, you throw your crutches away and get in a wheelchair." I said, "No." I said, "My crutches are part of me. I walked too long on them." And anyway, this is what I started to tell. She lives in Hollywood, Winona Street in Hollywood, and she never forgets to send me a birthday card and send me maple sugar on Mother's Day.
How about that? Well, that's mighty sweet. Well, look, we've got to get downtown and have some lunch, so I'm going to wrap this up here by saying that
you know when my tongue gets to wagging, it's kind of loose at both ends.
Well, I got news for you. I'm a pretty good yacker myself, but then I'm getting hungry, and I know Janet is too.
I tell you what's the matter with me. I'm alone an awful lot. I have to talk to myself.
Oh no, well we'll stick around and talk to you, but we'll kind of wrap this up with the radio and say it's been our pleasure to have you here with us, Lula, as our guest, and you too, Janet. And
it's wonderful for me. I just can't express. Words won't express what I feel.
Okay, well,
I haven't got enough of them.
Well, thank you very much, Lula. And so this is Carl Bailey with our in-person guest here, a 97-year-old great-great-grandmother, Mrs. Lula Macomber. All right, Macomber. She's even helping me on that. Of Bell, California, who's appeared here with us with her granddaughter, our very good friend, Mrs. Janet Marshall, who incidentally is the editor of Rangefinder magazine. So that's our in-person guest for today here at our K-Big Hilltop Studios, and this is Carl Bailey returning you now to our regular program.